live in the tube. Boom! You are live with the great Frank Shields once again, episode 61. This one,
We're cruising.
486, 61. Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Always an honor, always a pleasure, full joy. First to be alive, to wake up today and have life. Just that I give thanks, and then I'm here with you. That's a bonus.
Yes.
So, Frank, today we're going to start with the incompleteness. We're doing a PT's review, PT's book review again, exchanging our thoughts on it. Yeah, That's it. That's what we do. So I'm going to let you start with the incompleteness of the reading and writing method.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes. The incompleteness of the reading and writing method. Those who think that they can learn something just by silent reading are under a big illusion. Learning only happens through verbal repetition, internal for the mute, external for the rest. Repeating, just as the guru teacher has spoken, the way the guru said something is as important as what he or she said. Even this only worked if the basic requirement, praise, respect, and service to the guru was satisfied. This was the Vedic way of teaching, employed since the beginning of time. Why? It was simply the only way that actually worked, through holistically covering all the bases. Reading and writing, promoted mindlessly in today's school systems and institutions, has no chance of imparting any learning which can assist in soul evolution. Even those reading these scriptures will not really learn anything which they can practically instill into their lives to evolve their soul until they have the discipline to do continuous verbal repetition plus respectful service to the guru.
Yep. As usual, we do the French and English, and we reason in English after. So, l'incomplétude de la méthode d'écriture et de lecture. Ceux qui pensent qu'ils peuvent apprendre quelque chose juste en lisant silencieusement sont sous une grande illusion. Il n'est possible d'apprendre qu'à travers la répétition verbale, interne pour le muet, externe pour le reste, en répétant exactement ce que le gourou enseignant a dit. La manière dont le gourou disait quelque chose était aussi importante que ce elle disait. Même cela ne marchait que si la condition de base, louange, respect et service du gourou, était satisfaite. C'était la manière védique d'enseigner employée depuis la nuit des temps. Pourquoi? C'était la seule manière qui marchait réellement en couvrant entièrement toutes les bases. La lecture et l'écriture, promues de manière irréfléchie dans les écoles et les institutions d'aujourd'hui, n'ont aucune chance de permettre un vrai apprentissage qui peut assister l'évolution de l'âme. Mais ceux qui lisent ces écritures saintes, même ceux qui lisent ces écritures saintes, n'apprendront pas vraiment quelque chose qu'ils peuvent inclure dans leur vie de manière pratique pour faire évoluer leur âme, jusqu'à ce qu'ils aient la discipline de pratiquer la répétition verbale continue du texte et service respectueux envers le gourou. This is so true because you can read and write and do whatever you want in life and read whatever book, whatever empowerment, motivation, video, whatever, until you have the discipline to make it happen, it won't happen because you're not disciplined. First of all, discipline and disciple goes together. Yeah. So if you are a disciplined person, that's because someone showed you how to be disciplined. So maybe you've been a good disciple of a guru somewhere. Can be PT, can be another one. Right. Like there's a lot of great beings out there showing the right way of taking care of our body and stuff like that, because I think that's the basic. The basic is how to take care of ourselves, what to do here, which we don't know. We have no clue because we engage in fantasy most of the time because our life is like a fantasy. It's not reality. We're not in the reality of our life also. We are stuck in the fantasy life. So all this doesn't bring discipline. what brings discipline is really being of service, to
Mhm.
higher and divine. Could be a guru, could be something you think up there is
Right.
up there, but it's definitely to be of service, to have a servant heart. If you don't have a
Mhm.
servant heart and you think that no one can teach you anything, like PT taught me a whole bunch of stuff
Oh
that
yeah.
is so valuable because he focused on the basics. He doesn't
Mhm.
go so much into, like I said, the crop circles and the astrology and all that stuff. With me, never
Right.
did, because
Mhm.
it's the basic. We have to learn the basic, and we're
Right.
so stuck in that anti-life stance that I was talking about with Arthur.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So stuck and so deeply compromised. Never mind the crop circles, never mind the pyramid, never mind everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Never mind everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus on you, on bringing up your vibe. Your vibe is dead. Like
Hmm.
they have made you walking dead, probably.
Yeah.
So you got to bring yourself to life. That goes with love for life, like I explained. You cannot uh, expect also to learn anything if you're not receptive, and being receptive goes with love. When you're
Yeah.
receptive to others, you love. When you're receptive with nature, you love.
Hmm.
So I think definitely to evolve, for your soul to evolve here on earth, there's got to be discipline, because it's constant distraction around,
Yeah.
constant distraction,
Hmm.
constant distraction, I should say,
Yeah.
constant distraction. That's more the word.
Right.
So yeah, so definitely, once you bring in repetition too, you gotta say it. If you have a voice,
Hmm.
speak.
Yeah.
Speak to yourself. Like at first, before coming out on YouTube, I went on that other channel, Motivation Academy, and I had to hear my voice.
Mhm.
I had to hear myself. I had to hear what I had inside. So I make like 3,000 videos of just talking. Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Right.
I had to hear myself. And
Hmm.
then I started the Truman Show and this and that. But it's an evolution. But you have to repeat the stuff verbally.
Oh
Definitely, if you want it to become a reality, repeat it.
yeah.
You're training your brain to greatness,
Exactly.
but it's going to take time, and it's not on man's timing. That's the thing, Tula. It's on divine timing. Your
Yes.
evolution is on divine timing. He
Right.
will know, or she will know, or the force will know. I don't know what it is. When you're ready, the teacher will appear once the student is ready. If
Hmm.
you're not ready, if you're not in that state of mind to be receptive to others, people teaching, and to have the discipline to bring it into your life, nothing will ever happen. You'll be stuck in the matrix for the rest of your life. Is that
Yeah.
what you want? Because people live in captivity. Their soul is
Hmm.
captive by anti-life forces. Let's say it by the way it is. It's
Yeah.
not evil. It's anti-life.
Yes.
By saying anti-life, I think
Hmm.
it gets to your heart when I tell you have anti-life
It
ways.
makes it click different, doesn't it?
It makes a different click.
Yeah.
To me, it does.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
Frank, go on. I'm done with
Yeah. Yeah.
my opinion.
This is a great P-log. And yeah, in terms of the reading and writing method that they employ in school today, I mean, the reading bit and the silent reading is very much keeps us in a mental space, and so much of what they try or what they employ in terms of how we learn and all these different like worldviews and all this kind of stuff that they put on us, it makes us live in this mental space that when you start looking at it, is it even real? What they're telling you that we are inside of, and this whole like how things work. When you really start to actually get out there and seeing how the world works and observing other people and observing yourself, you don't really find you find incongruences in between what they're teaching us and what is actually going on. I love how P brings up what the real way of actually training ourselves and to when we're learning and when we're starting to uh, divine up qualities
Divide
that
up. I like
when we're
this.
trying to develop or divine up qualities that are going to help us improve our state, improve our intelligence, improve our well-being and our health and all these kind of things. This method of doing verbal repetition, this is like a timeless or like a I don't know what the word, I'm searching for the word, but it's something that the Vedic tradition has always employed and shown this is the way of doing things. And just out of our own experience, for instance, like I work in a cafe, and sometimes I'll be delivering this plate to this person, and then this drink to this, and this one goes to table 5, and this one goes to table 7. So I'm walking. I'm like, okay, table 7 left, table 5 right, table 7 left, table 5 right, table 7 left, table, because because by the time I get there, I'm like, wait, which one goes to which? So I mean, that's a very, that's just a small example of being able to hold something in our consciousness, so that when we get to the place where it's going, we can do the thing that it needs to happen. This one goes here and this one goes here. But in the bigger scale or the overall picture, I had mentioned this to you last time, that like one of the repetitions that I do each day or each night before I go to bed, I'll say, it is true that each being can only control their own action. No being can control another being's action. So that, like, being able to repeat that keeps in one's consciousness and one's awareness that, we are only in control of ourselves. And, we can't control what other people do. So that helps us have a sense of reality and a sense of detachment from what other people do. In terms of, like, we can't control them. No being can own another being. So I can't, operate your free will. I can only operate my free will, So, like, what P is sharing in the overall thing is like, what are these kind of principles that the multiverse, the universe operates on, that we can try to adapt ourselves to, so that we're going to be in the flow of, like, doing something that we're not going to trick ourselves or get ourselves thinking that life is one way, but when it's actually the other way. And I'll just relate this briefly, to the Vedic thing. There is a character or a being in the Vedic tradition called Narad or Narada. He's one of the sons of Brahma. And whenever he's introduced in a story, it's like, and then appeared Narada, and he was roaming, or he was walking along the path, singing songs of praise to Narayan, which is like the greatest of divine, or a name for the supreme being, Narayan. So in this sense of verbal repetition, you don't have to do it just by speaking. You can do it just by speaking, but singing is another way. You can be repeating by singing. And it's always talking about Narad, or Narada is always singing praises of divine, singing praises to Narayan and stuff like that. So that is a way, which is why music is such a great tool, because we can express positivity, we can express our gratitude, our praise to divine and to nature. And so we don't have to just have something on a loop in terms of, like, it doesn't have to be dry. I mean, it can be. I can just say those kind of things like, no being can own another being. Each being can only control their own action. No being can control another being's action. Now, this is very important, but we can also make it a song, or we can put it to a meter. We can put a melody to it, and that makes it to where, like, we can really, like, and music is just as old as time in that sense, where people always have had that kind of
music is magic. Music is what will probably change this world for a better place, is with music. That's how you're gonna get to them. If someone is sleeping tight, do you wake them up with a siren or an alarm? No. You wake them up slowly with smooth music and stuff, good vibes, And I think this is like calling the herd home also,
Mm-hmm.
You heard? Jai's the shepherd, you heard? We are the sheep, and Jai's the shepherd.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we
that's
must
it.
follow those things. And then I like what P is also saying here too, that okay, so he says learning only happens through verbal repetition, just as the guru has spoken, right? And then he is saying this only works also after the basic requirement of respect, praise, and service to the guru. So, you know, even if you're doing the practice of repetition and even being able to, you know, praise divine, all that kind of stuff, you also have to embody that by being able to have respect for nature, have respect for the elements, have respect for the being that you learned, whatever that you're employing is. You know, you have to be able to actually show that respect. And one of the things that P says is that behavior is one of our things that we have to learn, because we have to learn how to be appropriate and how to behave around what we would say like higher beings. Because if we get to that place in time through doing the right action over and over again in this life, maybe future lives or whatever it happens to be, and we can make it to higher realms, they're in the Vedic tales or in these you know, stories about cosmology and things like that, there are higher beings. There are beings there who have greater powers to even, you know, make worlds and all these kind of things, which I'm not going to go too far into because, you know, I just know about it from the stories. But when you're around those kind of beings, you want to be humble, you want to be respectful, you want to have a positive and an attitude of gratitude, you know, these kind of things. And so developing the right kind of behavior is very important. And so that's that goes along with this whole thing of it's a requirement to have this you know, ability or this kind of mode of being able to praise, respect, and be of service to the guru. Because being of service to the guru and the one that you're learning things from, not only is it good for you, it's good for the whole, you know.
Yeah.
And
Look
so
what we're doing here. That's good for the whole.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is a great P-log. And yeah, I don't think it takes a whole lot to reflect on the current, you know, public education system and say, like, you go through all those years, and just like P says too, you come out and you're still confused as to what's really real, what is going on in the world, and like how, because the modern education system, you go through it all and you still don't know simple things, even just to exist in the matrix. You don't really know that much about how to do your taxes, or even you probably won't learn how to like change your oil in the car or grow a crop of, you know, corn or okra or whatever. You don't learn any of that stuff, but those are valuable skills to have actually living in this world. You know what I mean?
It's crazy because we don't even know the basic of life, but we don't even know also the basic of the fantasy life.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's true what you said there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in the Matrix, we don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
That's why we're all mind control. And they control what you think, so they control what you do, because you don't know what to do even in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, so, because you don't know that about financial stuff and like I'm talking everything in the world. You don't know how the world function, how the bank function, how everything, the secret societies and all the dark stuff. You don't know nothing about it. So you're not even aware that you are in the Matrix.
Exactly.
So how do you want to know how it functions if you're not aware of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like crazy shit, man. Wow.
Yeah, not to mention just the basic things, right? I mean, they don't teach us like how to take care of the body, how to eat, the right kind of things to say, and the right kind of, you know, attitude and things like that toward nature. And I mean, obviously, they don't teach those things, because if they saw that, if they did, and people were employing it, the world would look very different than it does today.
Yeah.
So.
No, definitely. Yeah. It would have a different outcome too, and different, for sure, different vibe.
Yeah.
Frank, Who will teach you?
Yes, let's go. Who will teach
Let's
who?
go.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Who will teach who? There are lots of symptoms given for Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, in Vedic scriptures. But one main attitudinal point, which is often missing from all sources, is this. When the lower boldly and shamelessly try to teach and preach to the higher instead of humbly learning, Kali Yuga has reached its zenith. And like all things non-divine, with Kali Yuga, the end is very near the zenith.
Yeah, I got something to bring you on this, and Blay brought me onto something yesterday, and you're talking about the end and stuff. Anyway, qui enseignera qui? Il y a beaucoup de symptômes attribués à Kali Yuga, l'âge sombre dans les récits védiques, mais un attribut comportemental principal qui est souvent manquant de toutes les sources est ceci. Quand l'inférieur essaie d'enseigner et de prêcher intrépidement et imprudemment le supérieur, au lieu d'apprendre humblement Kali Yuga a atteint son zénith, et comme toutes les choses non divines, avec Kali Yuga, la fin est très proche du zénith. And in Hebrew calendar, we are in year 5785, 5785. And it goes on a 7,000 year cycle. And there's 1,000 year that they keep for Sabbath. And so it leaves us with like 200 something years left before a great reset.
Wow.
Anyway, it's interesting because we know that the Gregorian calendar is nonsense.
Right.
So now I'm not saying that maybe someone has some kind of Hebrew. Exactly. Hebrew, they say it's the language of the gods, or everything come from Hebrew, all alphabet. So there's definitely something to learn from there. So I'm going to start diving a bit more into Hebrew stuff. Yeah. So the zenith, we're close to the zenith, and that's a bit what the Hebrew people teach us. You know? So anyway, I'm not too much still into it. I have to do my research. I'm starting to dive into it, but it's interesting. Hebrew. I'm going to look into it. And I'm going to have Daniel on the Truman Show to talk about it because he's very knowledgeable and all that stuff. So he's going to come and share Blay Minot. He's going to be on the Truman Show probably in December. I told him in the winter months because I'm too busy right now with all the stuff I have to do. The farm and everything, the peppers, man, I started.
This does some work, right?
So I'm on the bike always going to the farm and back. So no, I need and I have my music production to take care of. So definitely there is where I was going with this. There is something coming to an end, and also the frequency of the earth rising, like it's at this all times high. I think I've heard. I didn't measure it myself. I go by what I heard, but that I can feel it. I can, and especially if you ground yourself. Like now, every time I go on my bike, I take time to stop and ground myself, and I take off my shirt, my shoes, everything. I just keep my shorts and I lie down on the ground, on the earth completely to ground my whole body. And I can feel an effect, bro. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And during the time you do it, if it's full sun, well, expose yourself to the sun and the ground, man. It's like rejuvenating.
Definitely, right?
Oh, wow, I love it. So every time I go now, it's grounding. It's, take time for that stuff. But if it's not taught to us, like you said, in school, they never teach you about grounding. Like, it's everything about being unnatural, this world. We'll teach you everything about being unnatural. So definitely there is what he says, il y a beaucoup de symptômes. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, go on, Frank. I think I pretty much touched everything I wanted to say. We're close to the zenith, and that's what he said. Kali Yuga a atteint son zenith. Reached his zenith, Kali Yuga. So, but you're more knowledgeable than me in all the physics stuff. So, I'm sure you're gonna bring something that's gonna blow my mind on this one too. Go ahead.
No pressure, no pressure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Pete hit some different points in this one, saying so there's lots of symptoms for Kali Yuga, the age of darkness, the age of ignorance, right, in Vedic scriptures. But he's saying one is missing that isn't very spoken about, and he's expressing when the lower, or the people who have less knowledge, the people who don't know, but in actuality they need to find out if they want their life to be better, if they want their awareness to rise, if they want to live a better life, you have to be able to learn, you have to be able to implement things. But one of the symptoms that P is saying is that when those beings with less knowledge are actually trying to act like they know and then teach what they know, which is false, to to somebody who actually does know more than them, that is one of the symptoms, right? So not only are beings here ignorant of what the reality is, but they're proud of their ignorance, and they're going to try to teach that false knowledge to maybe some beings who actually know what's real and what's going on, because that is, part of this arrogance and this pride that they fill us with through, hey, I've spent all these years getting all these degrees, working for his doctorate or whatever it is, or I don't even have to be in that level. We can just be like a YouTube scholar or whatever and be like, oh, I watched this documentary or whatever, Netflix or something, so
I've learned so much more stuff on YouTube than in school. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the platform allows, at least, that they try to tighten it more these days in terms
valuable
of
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But that is the case, and I think whenever you so like one of the things that P talks about, and that is a part of the Vedic thing, is that so when you're learning, you have to have this this openness and this like desire to learn, and also this awareness that, okay, like I can just put down everything that I thought that I knew just for a minute and just take in what is it that it might be a new perspective, and not just have my guard up, because you can't learn anything if you think you already know. You know what I mean? So that is, and they have equipped so many of us here with this this false pride that we already know how the world works and how everything is going on in with NASA or whatever.
Yeah, but let alone
the Earth and all this stuff or whatever. Like, do we actually know? Have you been there? I haven't. So I can't say for sure, like, what they're saying is right.
Exactly. And not only, like we said, we don't know about the reality, but we don't even know how the fiction works too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're so lost at sea collectively. It's insane when you start changing your perspective and you look at it in a different way, the world you live in. Oh my, and not only that, when you start to work on bringing that light out of your body, of your own being, the stuff that's going to come to you, it's mind-blowing. The blessings and the good stuff, that because if you do good will follow you. Keep staying in the matrix and doing all their evil stuff, and that's what will follow you. So let go of the anti-life stuff, embrace life, embrace the light, drop the sunglasses, the dark glasses, I should say. Dark glasses. They're not even sunglasses. They are dark glasses. Say it the way it's dark. So maybe it's going to stab something in your brain if I tell you it's dark glasses.
Yes.
But no, it's sunglasses. So it's like the sunlight. It's like the beer also, the light. When you drink beer, it's the light beer, like you drink the light. Like, what the heck is this? Like, you want to drink the light of the sun, not the beer.
Exactly.
But we're so far off that spectrum of righteousness, and we're so captive by those evil forces within us, because the demons are within you, and it's all your nonsense and your the stuff you think is real that is fantasy. That there's so many. Anyway, Frank, the next one is the
Well, I'll
biggest.
just
Yeah,
real quick
but
before we switch on to the next one,
yeah,
I'll just just mention briefly this. So in the Vedic thing, there are different ages, right? So this, like Pete's talking about, the age of darkness, Kali Yuga, that is the opposite end of the spectrum of what they call Sat Yuga or Satya, which is like the golden age, the age of enlightenment. And so I think like also the Greeks, I don't know if that's who it was, but they have like the golden, the silver, and the bronze, and the iron age, right? And so these are all different. And so there's in the Vedic thing, there's like the Satya, I don't remember the order, but there's the Treta and the Dwarpa, and then the Kali Yuga. I might have said those out of order potentially, but they are relating to different levels of the generalized awareness of humanity in terms of what are we supposed to be doing, and are we taking those actions? Like, is the knowledge for how to live life properly, to be able to if you have full knowledge and awareness and you're acting by it and you've done it continuously for long enough, then you develop access to higher realms, and you can travel back and forth between higher and lower realms, whatever you want to do, right? Because the more that you are in connection and willing to be of service to the ultimate divine supreme force, then you are granted access. And that's what the Vedic thing is saying, right? You're granted access to other places and other realms because you have shown through continuous service and that attitude, all of your actions are showing, yeah, this one is ready. He can, let's let him come up here, because he's not going to do something like off kilter. He's not going to disturb anything. They're ready, he or she or whatever, right? Like they're ready to, and so to be able to employ that knowledge, well, first you have to have learned it, and it has to come from somewhere, right? And so in the age of darkness, the knowledge of like how to live life properly, how to eat, and even just the simplest things like we talk about all the time.
the simplest thing.
Like that awareness is almost non-existent. It might exist in little corners, little pockets of the earth, and little small sects of people who are practicing the ways of old or something like that, but the masses are not going to have access to that awareness, and they're going to be operating based on the rules set and the fake wisdom, the fake knowledge or whatever set by whoever is in charge in current times, and so and like so P says like all things non-divine, with Kali Yuga, the end is very near the zenith. So in the Vedic perspective, time is not linear, but it's cyclical, and that's why you have this, it's like a spiral, that, and time works like that. And I don't know personally a lot about astrology and stuff like that, but certain things do relate to that. Like when P's talking about Vedic astrology, like Punarvasu is an asterism, a segment that relates to certain things of cyclical events, and it talks about how time is cyclical, and it not only just goes in a circle, but P says it's helical. It's like the DNA, so it's not only, so it'll spiral. So even when you return to the same place that you were, the spiral is undulating. So it's also turning like this while it's turning like this. So even if you return to the same place, it's not exactly the same as it was, And so it's like this fractal flower that's turning, and it's unfolding at the same time. And depending on your actions and stuff like that, you'll find yourself at a different place. You can spiral yourself down, or you can spiral yourself up, and propel yourself to different places through actions. And so that's the nature of time. And just like, we go to sleep and we wake up every day, it's like these, and how the sun, the sun rises and then the sun sets, and everything is exemplary in a in a fractal way. So just the same way as the day and the night happens, there is like the night is like the age of Kali Yuga, you know what I mean, where there's the darkness. And so it's a little bit harder to see, but there's all these different I guess I won't get into it too much because I don't feel very like authoritative in terms of being able to speak about it efficiently in all senses. But like one of the things that P says is that, you know, in the age of darkness, like, so we all have like different types of kind of like points or different types of like karma that we accumulate through the actions that we take. So if we can do the right thing when the age is of darkness, or when the awareness is less, if we can do the right thing in that time and not just go with the status quo, then you get kind of more points based on a smaller amount of effort or something. So you get, I don't know exactly the right way to say it, but it's like the value of your right actions is like more in this time than it would be, say, if it was like 100% Satyug, everybody or a majority of the people are all doing, you know, the proper thing according to divine. Then you also get positive like karma points for doing the right thing then. But at this time, it's like they're supercharged because everything else is going wrong, but like you have somehow come to the place to find out the right thing to do, and so you kind of get a little boost. And so that's not exactly the point.
But that's nice the way you say it. Like it's really that you get
it's even that much more motivation. Like, hey, you know, let's do the right thing. We're even getting a little bit of overtime. We're getting a little time and a half for doing the right thing in these days. You know,
seriously, no, it's a real boost, and I think that's how you come to know also that you might be a chosen one, or you might be. I don't like so much say chosen one, but there is chosen ones. Like it's clear there's people living in different realms than the Matrix, and those realms you were talking about, and I like the way you explained the spiraling of our life and stuff. I'm gonna have to rewatch it, what you said. I took it in, but I'm gonna have to rewatch it, and I think there's really a possibility for each and every one of us to reach that higher light, that higher love, that higher realm. And here on earth, during your living days, like I can maybe reach a higher realm after, but we're talking right here, right now. There is different realm of living. There is different paradigm. There is a different life completely waiting for you. Complete different life.
Yes.
But you keep embracing the dark and the Matrix and all that stuff. So it's going to follow you. So stop. That's it. Embracing the dark and all that, like you said. And, you know, you're going to get a boost at one point, but you also have to have discipline and you got to prove yourself. The divine will not play with clowns.
No, no riffraff.
Divine don't play with clowns. So you better straight up your, I was going to say straight up your shit, but straight up your life. Straight up your life and do something. And in this time, because exactly like you said, we are living in a time where everyone pretty much sleep in the dark beside you. So you bringing that positive vibe onto Earth will definitely have a major, and that is the full joy that you feel every day. You know how many times I find myself just smiling for nothing? Like just smiling because that's what I want to do. I want to smile. I want to have a permanent smile on my face. And that's the full joy of life. And I think that's the bliss state. That's the higher realm, the higher feeling is when you can bring that smile to your face permanently and you are rejoicing with life in this moment. Like it's, and then the boost will come.
Yeah.
And it will take you on a ride, man, like beyond your wildest dream, beyond everything you have possibly imagined in your life.
Right.
It's going to be beyond that. I'm telling you, just keep pushing, be disciplined, be here, be present, do your best, keep trying. It's gonna happen. You're freaking divine. We're all freaking divine. And
Yeah.
if we work the good vibes, the proper vibration of this earth, like I said, the current of the earth is rising also. Man,
Yeah.
imagine the realm we would have here. We would be all living in a in a higher realm of full joy and
Yeah.
constantly. But we have a lot of work to do, and we have to learn the basic first before we end up into that zenith of the.
Mhm.
It's near, it's near, but
Yeah.
I think we gotta keep pushing all together and each one teach one. And if you're that's it in that state of mind, definitely at one point a boost will come, like you said.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of end this talk on this thing that another tenet of the Vedic approach and perspective is that we have to act and do the right thing, but without expectation, right?
Yeah.
So we can't just act solely on the expectation that, okay, if I do these actions, then I'm going to get some type of points or I'm going to get some kind of reward like here and now. I mean, you will in the sense of you start to feel better, you start to live, your mental space becomes a lot more like open and free and clear. You're not bogged down by all the matrix things and stuff like that. I mean, we still have to exist within the matrix to some degree, right? But it's very possible that we will start to experience the rewards or like a lot of different positive things, but we can't, like, even if life, because this is the thing, there's a lot of different factors in play in life, and there's a lot of different types of they talk about astrology is kind of like a time wheel in which, like, so if you take the one thing, the actions have consequences, right?
Yeah.
And so you might be receiving the consequences of actions that you've done in the past, even if it was a very long time ago. I mean, so we won't go outside of our life where we're living, right? We'll just stay within this life. We might have done something as a kid that might come back and affect us when we're in our 40s or in our 50s or whatever. And so that even if we come to a place where we're experiencing something either positive or negative based on what we did in the past, we still have to do the right thing, right? So if we're doing the right thing in our life over and over and over again, and then something goes wrong and we're faced with a challenge or a dilemma, that shouldn't shake us. We have to become so firm and so solid and so like really wanting to do the right thing no matter what.
No matter
That
what.
has to be our attitude, and that we have to be solid and firm in that. And so, things might happen in our life in which, we face some consequence that we can either connect the dots to, or sometimes it's so beyond, we're just like, where did this come from? I was not expecting whatever it was to happen in my life. And now I am feeling, some, like, it's hard, life gets hard at times. Who knows, like, so many different ways that we can face a challenge. But the great thing about the tactics and the methods that P teaches, how to center ourselves, always come back to the center, work on taking care of your body, connect with nature, do your grounding, speak the right things. These are the methods and the modalities that will carry us through those hardships, through those challenges, or can boost us extra through the good times, through the joys and through the positivity. But I'm saying all that to say there's the Vedic thing that says you have to act without expectation.
Yeah.
So you can't say, I'm just going to do this so that I get that. You will get the you will get the points and the rewards and stuff, but it might be like way later. So that's I just wanted to say that.
That's it. It's not on your timing, and that's how we get very impatient, and we're used to instant gratification too.
Yeah.
But this is the whole thing about divine. It's all delay gratification. He doesn't play with clowns. I told you.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, you better get out of that circus, that Babylon circus, because all there is clowns. So get out of that circus and then wait to see what happens. And it's not on your timing, so be patient. Like, you have a life to live. Just be in the moment. And by you being in the moment with divine, with your own life, just that can create an explosion of joy, first of all, because you will sense life and nature and all the sensory experience you can have, and the feelings will be like way out of Babylon. Babylon has a set of feelings for you to experience. And if you stay in that Matrix Babylon stuff, that's what you'll experience. Mostly jealousy, envy, all the negative emotion. So get out of that negative realm. And that's it. Like you said, embrace positivity in your life. Embrace everything that is good and just give thanks, man, each and every day, and do something with your life. Like you're here to create love something. So do it. You are a co-creator of this reality, just like me. So go in action, do something, and give thanks for life, and don't worry about the outcome. Just do something you love. Do something that puts you on fire. Something that puts your soul. Me, it's reggae music. It could be something else for you. It could be like good food, or provide something to the world that the world has never seen, because the world has never seen you. So you should bring something that the world has never seen. You shouldn't be a parrot on repeat.
Right. And there's also things that are like blanket things that like everybody can enjoy and love, and everybody can connect with nature and say, oh man, look how beautiful this tree is. Look how that water flows in that river, right? Like going around the rocks like that. Or look how the ocean is curling these ways. I mean, that is something that we can all be like, oh, I love this part about divine. I love this part about nature. And we can all like see these different facets of like beauty, so that's fun too, right?
Recognizing the beauty, that's such an important point. Just sometimes I'm on the bike path, I just stop to look at the flowers. There's a nice purple lily flower or something like daisy purple in the wild. They're so beautiful and bright. I just stop, man, to sometimes just to smell them too. Smell the flowers. Stop and smell the flowers. Stop and hug the tree.
Right.
You might think I lose a screw, like Daniel said in his song. Right. I talk out to the trees, but at least they listen. You talk to people in this world, they don't even listen. Right. So I go out and talk to the flowers, talk to the trees, the rivers, and the elements, everything, the pepper plants, and I bless them and give me good peppers and stuff. Because if you're in that state of mind, that's big. That's big, because now you can recognize the beauty around you, and you see everyone beautiful too. There's no ugly people in this world. They're all beautiful. They're ugly on the inside. Yeah. Right. I agree. The inside is very ugly, but the outside is so beautiful and perfect. And it's only the state of mind that is ugly. It's not the inside so much, because the inside is perfect. We're perfect fractal, not perfect coherence. That's the thing. But we are all perfect fractal. We're all so beautifully designed and godly designed, and name it the way you want, divinely designed. That it seems for us it's too much. It's too much to even deal with that, because we prefer the dark side. So walk towards the light and see how your life is going to change, and embrace the light outside too. Take off the goggles, the dark shades, the dark glasses. I have a song now for it. Now I'm talking about it, but I also have a song to support it. So I'm like full joy. It was the best day, one of the best days of my life, when Daniel sent me that song. I stopped everything I was doing. I was like, "You're not serious. You're not serious. You're not serious." I reached out to him right away, telling him a whole bunch of stuff. And, but that's what will happen. Things that you think also. You attract what you think. I've been into this stuff for a long time, trying to create love something, to create love, a good vibe for the world. And even the music, the sound is evolving. I'm finding new sound that I like, that I really vibe with. So it's full joy. It's full joy, man. And that's it. Be present with nature. That's my to learn the basic, to start learning the basic is, first of all, try to hug a tree. Start hugging a tree and take off your shoes. Take off your dark shades, your dark glasses, take off your shoes, ground yourself, hug a tree, talk to a tree, talk to the river, talk to nature, and see what happens.
Yes.
See what happens. Okay, I'm telling you. Never mind Babylon and all the freaking nonsense they have to give you. Là. Okay, leave the TV and all that. It's so filled with nonsense and garbage. Go out, talk to a tree, talk to nature. You might, like he says, might think I lost a screw, but yeah, I might have lost a screw on Babylon. Yeah, that's what I did.
Right.
So lovely. Alpachi. Yeah, that's it. In the chat, large up, Alpachi, together as one.
Yes.
That's how we're going to make it out of this nonsense matrix. And anyway, Frank, we're going to finish today with the biggest delusion.
Yes.
Delusion. So yeah, go talk to a tree, go hug a tree, do everything in nature that is good for nature. Take off your, I'm going to repeat it, take off your stupid sunglasses. You don't need it. But I have to come here and say it. That's where I channel all my, not my anger, my love. That's my love.
Well, passion, this energy.
Passion, and especially those three things that were so stuck in the dark glasses, plastic clothes, and the bad food.
Right.
That's rampant in our world.
Yeah.
Go outside, you'll see.
Very simple. You can change things.
I am in Canada. Là. I'm sure it's the same in US. It's the same in Europe. It's the same in China. It's the same everywhere. They all have dark shades on the dark glasses and no eyes, no vision, living in the dark. Like, that's what you're saying. I want to live in the dark.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm going to stop. I'm going to start renting again.
So we'll go
dark
with this.
Glasses.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, it feels good. It feels good, though. Yeah, I got to say, it feels good to let it out. To finally see clear and see it for what it is. I'm so grateful to have been blessed with the vision, the 2020 vision.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing, right?
I have to say it here also that I'm grateful. I have to express it. Definitely. Frank, the biggest illusion. I'm going to stop my rent and go with the biggest illusion. Let's see what PT has to say.
Yes, exactly. The biggest delusion. The biggest delusion evil has propagated on this planet is that learning is possible without bowing to higher and divine. So one can learn from books, articles, and internet without ever being humble and of service to the teacher who, by definition, has to be more evolved than themselves. That's why all who are deluded by this delusion languish in depths of blissless boredom of the hell that is their life, and will for eternity if they stick to this delusion. There are those who are proclaiming that life and time is the greatest teacher. If that was the case, all would be enlightened by now, as each and every person's family and forefathers have been on this planet for thousands of years. The same genetics have gone through life over and over and over without ever getting out of mind-programmed hell they have been stuck in. There are those who think learning is possible through combined effort of many incoherent things, but some of incoherence never added up to coherence. Simple mathematics can reveal the fact. -12 plus -4 plus -8 plus ... equals a lot of negative instead of a positive. All ancient scriptures, especially Vedic Puranas, point towards learning happening only through bowing and service to the real learned rishis and seers and direct manifestations of divine.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm going to do the French as usual. La plus grande illusion, illusion. La plus grande illusion que le mal a propagée sur cette planète est que l'apprentissage est possible sans s'incliner devant le supérieur et divin. Personne ne peut apprendre des livres, d'articles et d'Internet sans jamais être humble et servir l'enseignant. Qui par définition doit être plus évolué qu'eux. C'est pourquoi tous ceux qui sont leurrés par cette illusion se traîne dans des profondeurs d'ennui dépourvues de béatitude. Wow. I'm going to repeat that. That's so big. Wow. C'est pourquoi tous ceux qui sont leurrés par cette illusion se traînent dans des profondeurs d'ennui dépourvues de béatitude. Pour ceux qui comprennent le français, là, je pense que c'est assez clair. Qui est l'enfer de... I said, for those who understand French, I think it's clear enough. That's what I said. So, qui est l'enfer de leur vie et le resteront pour l'éternité s'ils se tiennent à cette illusion. That's the biggest part. I'm going to so point the stuff on that stuff here. Oh. Il y a ceux qui proclament que la vie et le temps, c'est le meilleur enseignant. Si c'était le cas, ils seraient tous illuminés à cette heure-ci. Vu que tous les familles ancêtres ont été sur cette planète pendant des milliers d'années, les mêmes gènes sont passés par la vie encore et encore et encore, sans jamais sortir de l'enfer de la programmation de l'esprit dans lequel ils sont coincés. Il y a ceux qui pensent que l'apprentissage est possible à travers les efforts combinés de plusieurs êtres cohérents, incohérents. Yeah, cohérents, oui, mais pas incohérents. Mais une somme d'incohérences n'a jamais été égale à la cohérence. Des mathématiques simples peuvent révéler ce fait. Moins 12 plus moins 4 plus moins 8 plus blablabla. Beaucoup de négatifs au lieu d'un positif. Tous les anciens récits, surtout les Puranas védiques, pointent à l'apprentissage étant possible seulement en s'inclinant, servant les vrais Raishi, sages, instruits et les manifestations directes du divin. Wow, that's big, that's big, that's big.
Yeah.
I gotta take it in a bit. Yeah, but the point I want to make is that here, the boredom L. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the case for most here. Look around, people are stuck in boredom, and that's such a L realm to be. I think it's the worst. Because then, not only when you're bored, you say to yourself you're bored, but you don't look outside the boredom because you try to cover your boredom with other boredom.
Yes.
Like, you're bored, you don't know what to do, you'll bring another boredom stuff to cover it. So that's why you are stuck in perpetual boredom for your life long. And that's the reality for most outside. Okay, because they have never thought of serving higher and divine. Never thought that there could be something else with this life than the nonsense they get fed. Spoon-fed. You know, it's spoon-fed, the nonsense. Maybe, like Daniel was telling me, maybe we have to bend the spoon. Like in the Matrix, you know, we're here to bend the spoon, like to bend the mind. Like maybe that's what you should do. But no, the spoon is so freaking rigid that we get fed all kinds of nonsense with the rigid spoon without ever bending the spoon before it gets to our mouth with the nonsense that they try to feed us.
Right.
So yeah, maybe if you have a great power inside, like you're supposed to express your divine power here, I think, anyway, I don't know what we're doing here if we're not supposed to do that.
Right.
To me, it's expressing your divinity, your uniqueness.
Yeah.
Fingerprints. There's no one with the same fingerprints as me and you. No? So we're all, there will never be another me here. Never. So why don't I love that me? You know, and bring it to a higher vibe. And that's what I think. So, and you're so unique and such a unique vibe to your being. But for sure, once you're stuck in that illusion, boredom and stuff, you will never bring out the divinity that's within you and do something for the world, not for yourself, but, you know, live for others. Live for yourself, you will live in vain. Live for others, you will live again. What do you think I'm here? Why do you think I'm here? For do this for myself? Yeah, I evolve. I have evolved in 10 years on YouTube, definitely. But it's because I have love for life. Someone asked me the other day on SoundCloud, why are you making music? Simple love for life. I'm doing something with my life. It's nothing extravagant. It's just everyone sleeps around me. I'm just doing something. Like I have to keep myself alive. I have to keep myself busy into something that I love, and humanity love music. So we all love music. I don't know anybody that doesn't hear music and suddenly like, ooh, gets lighter, you know?
Right.
So it can light your load a little bit and maybe enlighten you. And the fact, when you said enlightenment before or something, or here, la coherence, the incoherency, you cannot be, there's at one point, there's got to be one being in the family that's got to break that cycle of nonsense.
Yeah.
I am the one. In my family, I am the one. Okay? I'll
Right.
tear down all their evil anti-life stuff. No? I'm
Yes.
going to make my diligent duty, first of all, within me, because it's within me. And then by example of, working on hammering that nonsense out of my
Right.
body, maybe pulling it out more than hammering it inside, pulling it out of my own body. But then something else is bound to happen. Like, I don't know what can be the outcome. That's the thing. When you go on that ride to higher and divine, it's a smooth road. First of all,
Yeah.
it's smooth. It's not like Montreal's road where there's holes everywhere.
Right.
That's the place where everyone go. The road is chaotic.
Yeah.
So just look around. So go onto a country road, a road to higher and divine, and it will be so smooth, so smooth. I've said it so many times. That thing. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm repeating myself. Yeah, I feel like an impression de déjà vu. Anyway, I think, yes, there is definitely a grand illusion is to think that l'apprentissage, that you can learn without bowing to higher and divine. Like, what is that? Like, you want to be blessed. Yes, you have to be less. You have to be less evil. But
Yeah.
people look for blessing, blessing, blessing without ever going to encounter or going to search for what is evil or anti-life within me. What anti-life stuff do I associate myself with? Not associate love. You should associate love yourself with Iron Divine. Now you associate with the Matrix.
Right.
Boom. How about that's on you?
Yeah, this is a great P log. P brings up a lot of different points. Because he's saying, right, biggest delusion, evil is propagated, that learning is possible without bowing to higher and divine. And so what is real learning? And that is coming into awareness and then applying that awareness and that knowledge to your own body of what is life? What is it for? How do I live in a harmonious way with nature, with the elements, with divine? How do I love myself? How do I show care and concern for my well-being? And so that's a more rare knowledge to actually come across today, with like in the full spectrum. We might find bits and pieces of it here and there, but where do you find that full package? And so part of being able so the full package comes from divine, right? There is a instruction manual for like how to live life on like a broad scale and on a very individualized scale. You as an individual, the way that you are, the way that your body is, what food is best for you, what is the right thing to do through the seasons, all this kind of stuff. That knowledge is also there. And that's kind of the Ayurvedic lens on like what health and well-being and those kind of things. And also the astrology can give you insights on your own personal body and your makeup and stuff like that. But what P is sharing here is, okay, so no real learning is possible without bowing to higher and divine. So that is, what is the opposite of bowing? Standing in defiance and saying, no, I think I know the right way for me, because I heard something and there's 3 million views on how I'm supposed to, or how this person is teaching. So I'm going to listen to the numbers and I'm not going to see what actually is.
You know how you come to understand stuff in this world? By standing under.
Yes,
The
exactly.
divine. Being blessed. and being
So you
less
have
evil.
to, right? You have to have that attitude and show that thing of like, okay, I'm willing to change. You know, that is a very bowing kind of attitude. Like, no, I will defer to what is greater than me. I will defer to, you know, that being with the knowledge of that thing. So, and P points out some other cool stuff too. This
And
point,
also just to say, to bow to Iron Divine, you can bow to Iron Divine being on Earth. But if you don't want to do that, there's Iron Divine, upper realm. Like,
yeah,
there's always
exactly.
more Iron Divine than you. There's God, there's the Divine, there's the
Exactly.
Creator. The Creator. You know, you
Right.
can bow to the Creator. If you don't feel like bowing to a human being, bow
Yeah,
to the Creator.
right.
Like, what? Like, you. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna start ranting again.
Yeah.
Go for it.
But this point here, you know, that P says, you know, so many people say life and time is the greatest teacher. He says if that was the case, then all would be enlightened by now. You know, so I mean, we do learn things in time, or we see how things play out in time, but we don't necessarily connect the dots that allows us to change our own behavior so that we don't find ourselves coming into the same problem again and again, running into a wall, you know. So, you know, things
Yeah,
that can,
because there's also we run into walls constantly like that because we're not bowing to Iron Divine, we're not serving Iron Divine. Because once you start bowing and serving, everything will fall into place
yeah,
perfectly in your life.
it
Okay,
really, yeah,
okay, and everything will be happening in the right timing. Now you're on divine timing because you work with Iron Divine. You're on Iron Divine payroll. It's not
hmm,
the Babylon payroll.
right,
So everything will fall into place in not on your timing, on their timing, the forces.
yes,
So yeah, that's one thing I have experienced.
oh yeah, that's for sure. So that is something that we, you know, we might use it as an excuse, you know, that you know, life and time is the greatest teacher. So, you know, I'm just gonna let time, you know, do its thing, and I'm just gonna be the way that I am, and I will learn in time. And P's saying, no, 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 that's not the case. Because if that was actually the case, then you know, you would be in a different place than you are.
But for sure.
And then this point over here that, you know, um, there's those who think that learning is possible through the combined effort of many incoherent beings. So, like the fact that all these people have some degrees or some scholarly things that they've studied, and these people, and then when they come together, even though these people have taken time to research and put all these things together, but their life is still kind of going wonky, still kind of
Yeah.
going like sideways. And so when these people come together, okay, well, maybe there's something new or something better that can come. But P's saying, no, like this is the thing, like the sum of incoherence never added up to coherence. So you actually have to just start with the foundation, the baseline of these kind of
And
things.
also, people will cover their incoherence by
Hmm.
more incoherency. Like, often you will find those people in the matrix and stuff very much inclined into alcohol and stuff
Oh
just
yeah.
to cover the trauma of, thinking because your being inside knows you don't know, but you pretend, you go against your own being, you go against your own life by
Hmm.
pretending. But
Yeah.
your DNA, you have everything within you, just like me, to realize all I have realized, and Frank and all those other people on Earth. Like, we're all built the same. Come on, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, man. But it's that lack of coherency. It's you're totally incoherent with your own being, and you cover this with more and more nonsense, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever, movies, anything, TV watching, anything that can take your brain out. You engage in it. So maybe stop engaging in distraction and stuff, and really start giving thanks for life, and bring the light out and all the good stuff out of your being. Let go of that. Like, really, it's a battle between dark and light here. Okay, it's
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
good and evil, and it's dark and light. You're either on the light side, you're in the light, or you're in the dark with your sunglasses, dark glasses.
Right.
You know, people that embrace light don't wear dark glasses outside. I don't need it. I love the sunlight.
Yeah.
I want it. Okay? So people that embrace light do not wear dark glasses.
Right.
So I see it in action outside. Why would you put this on your face when the full sun blowing outside and blue sky and everything is shining of colors, and you go out and put your dark shades on?
Right.
But you want to stay in the dark. That's what it tells me. So, you know, all these anti-life stands that we take, I'm going to maybe stop one day with the dark glasses. But that's one of my favorite things to hammer, because it's so evident. And the only reason why you don't see it is because your perspective is based on the faulty principle of Babylon. They tell you it's good for you, but it's so unhealthy. So it's such a confusion, illusion, delusion, because there is light outside. Get it in. Once you get it in your eyes, and only, even sun gazing is good. Like often I find myself just looking at the sun, and then boom, sunspot in the eye and everything. But it dissipates after a while. So it's not going to make you blind and shit. Like, I don't get the thing that people are scared of the sun, the sunscreen and this and this. That doesn't end. So the sun is good for you. The nature is good for you. Everything that is divine out there is good for you. So stop avoiding it. Go out, connect. You know, the sun. Look at the, like, talk to it. You know how many times I find myself talking to the sun? Like, just talking to the sun, asking for not favor, but asking for guidance. I don't ask for favor. I'm here to do the work, and I'll do the work. I don't want no favor. I want nothing given on silver platter. I want to do the work. But I ask for guidance. Often with the trees, I ask guidance. I take off my shoes, hug the tree, ask for guidance. You know, they will guide you, the divine. And if the divine is in everything that surrounds us, maybe, talk to the trees.
Divine's listening.
Because people of this earth are very often very incoherent, so they don't even listen to you. So they're not receptive and stuff. So just go to nature and see what happens.
Right.
Anyway,
and just to end it,
we'll something else, Frank?
We'll just end with this point that P says all ancient scriptures, especially the things from the Vedas or the Vedic Puranas, like P says, they point towards learning, real learning happening through bowing and being of service to real learned rishis. So like higher beings, divine beings with more knowledge and direct manifestations of divine. So in all those ancient tales, you know, divine has come onto earth or some plane in some form and shared like the divine revelations of what is life for, how do you live in harmony, and all these kind of things. And so all this is it's such a beautiful facet of the Vedic tradition, and then we don't have to categorize ourselves as this or that, but the more that we connect with nature and the elements and the stars, the stars and these divine energies, the more that we start to actually just becoming more coherent.
You know, an apple tree or whatever fruit tree or whatever tree is more coherent than you. They don't need to be told what to do. They know what to do, and all everything they like. It's creational science when it's embodied in them, just like you. It's embodied in you. If the seed has all those divine power to produce a tree with many, many fruits, you don't think it's not in you? Like, but maybe because you have severed that connection with nature, maybe that's why you don't feel it. I forgot about it. Anyway, that's my sarcasm for today. Anyway, at Mr. Vortex in the chat, large up, more love. It's all love. We come here to spread love and light to the beings of this earth, because we live in the perilous time where the anti-life forces are at its highest, probably point of ever because it's so rampant everywhere. But I think we're starting to tip the scale. You know, I think the work is, balance is good, but balance between good and evil, not so sure about that. I think the work is to tip that scale to get all the anti-life stuff out, and that we have enough weight together. And once we put enough effort together, we're putting more weight on that scale. Well, the scale will tip at one point. It's bound to tip. Like, it's not going to stay in darkness forever, humanity. Even me, I see it. You see it. A lot of people see it. So it's going to happen. But together as one. Boom, we're out. Large job, Frank.
We'll see you in the next one.
That was very light, full of light.
Yeah, that was very fun. Enjoyed it.
That's all I want is light. Is light and love, light and love, light and love. Bring it.
Let's go.
Woo! That was nice. Okay, large up, everyone. We're out. See ya next Monday. Same timing. On divine timing. That's how we do it. Boom.
All right. Yeah.